Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Lorraine.
And I'm Jim.
And tell me your story of how you got started on raw food and why. Because you look amazing. How old are you?
I'm 50.
Wow.
50 in a month.
Wow. This is what 50 looks like. Then I want some. So tell me what and why would you get into raw foods as opposed to like a vegan cooked food diet?
Because I had been vegan for many years off and on and had tried a lot of different things. And 1 month before I was to get married to this beautiful man, I was diagnosed with a genetic autoimmune disease. And then they told me I had 2 years to go.
Whoa.
And they looked me in the eye and said, "What color are your eyes?" And I said, "Brown." And she said, "Do you think you can ever change the color of your eyes?" And I said, "No, I hadn't known about Christina yet." And she said, "Well, you can't change the fate of your disease any more than you can change the color of your eyes. And no amount of diet, no amount of exercise, nothing you can do is going to change your fate." So I went to a naturopath, and I decided to divorce my hepatologist, found the best naturopath in the United States, in Arizona. We flew there, and she said, "Oh yeah, you look great, you're healthy, we have this thing. It'll take us a year." I went on supplements and IV transfusions of vitamin C and glutathione for the next 8 months. I was sicker than I've ever been in my life. I got to 102 pounds. And one day my beautiful husband, his mom was dying, and I was dying. And he looked at me and he said, "What's going on here, honey?" So what would you do if you were a client?
Right.
I'm a health practitioner, and I said I would put him on 100% raw food diet. And a month later, an earth angel came into our life and introduced us to Dr. Doug Graham, 80-10-10 diet. And we read that book together, and he's an athlete.
Yeah.
He's willing to go for it. He said, "If I get to be a skinny guy, I'm not going to do this." I said, "That's okay." I trusted what I had read in Doug's book so far, and sure enough, he's got stronger and faster, and I've reversed my disease.
Wow.
And it's been 3 years. I've outlived my prognosis.
Let's see your eyes without the glasses now. Wow. Beautiful people. Beautiful people. And let me ask you a question. What were you eating? Did you ever eat meat before?
Oh yeah, I ate meat off and on. I became a vegetarian because the first time I realized that I had some sickness in me, I was about 16 years old, and I went vegetarian then, and definitely helped. I had ulcerative colitis at that point, and they wanted to take out part of my colon. Definitely made a big difference. And so I played with macrobiotic diet, with veganism, with high-fat raw, a number of different, even did paleo for a month with no grains. Felt super clear, but had no stamina, no energy to run. I love to run. And when we found 80-10-10, that all changed. It just got better and better.
What happened with grains? Why not? What would you say to people about that want to go on grains? Because I know I found out long term it wasn't good for me.
Well, we actually experimented with that after we had been going down the road with 80-10-10. We thought, well, maybe we could bring some rice back into the diet, and we were even experimenting with potatoes and beans. And after being so clear with the 80-10-10 diet, for me, it was like I was almost putting poison into my body because it was getting rid of it pretty quickly, and my performance levels started to go down. You know, and so I realized, well, you know, I want to be at the top of my game, and so yeah, the grains just didn't work for us. And with Lorraine, she was getting more clogged up with the grains.
He was projectile, pooping 8 times, 10 times a day. It was crazy. He couldn't even work. And for me, I was stopped up, and my stomach would get bigger and bigger and bigger. I wouldn't go to the beach. I live in Hawaii. I was like, I'm not going surfing. I'm not going to the beach. I was wearing big baby doll dresses. It took almost the last episode that we had with the grains. It's been quite some time now, but it took 2 months to recover from one episode, one meal.
Wow.
Of rice. And,
What am I going to do after 2 years?
I'm never going to do it again.
Right.
We're done.
So you don't find yourself bored with a fruit diet, fruit-based diet?
Well, with me, I've always looked at food as fuel, you know, so I can eat the same thing over and over, and as long as it's working for me, I don't have a problem.
So women are more emotional. What do you think?
Yeah, and with her, she's...
It was a challenge for me the first year and a half, I'm not going to lie. I wanted to have all kinds of combinations. Fully raw Christina, she saved my life. I tried all her recipes, and it was awesome. I've gotten more and more simple now because it really comes down to how I feel. And every time I've eaten something that's not 80-10-10, I don't like the way it feels, and nothing is worth losing sleep over, and nothing is worth feeling fatigued over, nothing is worth feeling foggy over. So if it's not 80-10-10, if it's got more fat than it should, I don't want it anymore. So I've lost my desire because of that, and I really respect and admire Dr. Graham for bringing this to the world and helping athletes have peak performance, and for me, he saved my life.
Do you have any friends that do this with you? Do you find it socially awkward? Do you care?
It's socially awkward sometimes, but we don't care. You know, I mean, the main
Proof
thing
is in the body, let me tell you. Oh my God, you guys look amazing. And you teach yoga?
I teach yoga, yes. I do energy healing and offer Reiki classes as well, and do wellness coaching in Kailua Kona in Hawaii on the Big Island.
Oh man, I got to take a trip there. Or you could take a trip to me.
Oh yeah.
And so you said you knew somebody that was an Ironman athlete, and he was eating whatever he wanted, and then they found out from an autopsy after he died that his stomach was dead?
Yes. He was a triathlete, had been a triathlete for over 15 years or so. He was a guy in his 30s.
He looked fit?
And he looked fit as can be, typical triathlete, you know, lean build, all muscle, just ripped, beautiful guy. And he had indigestion almost on a nightly basis for the past year, maybe two. He didn't really talk about it a whole lot. He just took his Pepto-Bismol and dealt with it, is what his wife told me later. And one morning she wakes up and he's coughing and hacking and spitting up fluid, calls the paramedics, and by the time they get there, he's gone. She had him do an autopsy, and yeah, his stomach was dead, basically.
Oh my
He had
God.
been, you know, pushing down the symptoms and not dealing with the cause.
Do you guys have any kids?
No kids.
No.
No kids.
I'm
Oh, no
okay.
wonder you're happy. No, see. I didn't say that, kids. I love you.